Hi there. I just picked up these random rocks. Actually, every single rock on the ground is a freaking Indian artifact. Or at least if it's been altered seriously by man. I want to get into this and show you sort of what it's the whole lithic reduction process, where you start with big rocks and basically your only tool is another rock to get. It's the only thing you have this hard that's going to be able to bust this is another rock. Bam, bam, bam. Over time, you're going to want to make. You're trying to make tools. That's your object. So this is an anvil here. This too. You use these to break your other rocks off of. So you hold one rock on it and hit it with another rock. So the rock, you're not going to hold it right here and bang it with a rock and break it in half. You're going to do that 1,000 times and your hand's going to be shattered to bits. Okay. Now these are, okay. Basically my theory is as they're breaking these down and making tools out of them, they're breaking them down. At each stage, they become a tool. And these tools are made with the mind of making the next point. So you're making the tools. So look at all these pits. These are usage pits. This has been used quite a bit. And what I think they're doing here is thinning this piece out. They're using this top. They're picking all over it, so that it gets thinner and thinner till they get the size that they want. And you see the triangular shape. That's not an accident. I bet there's a point inscribed on here. See these lines right here? I can't say for sure about this one, but okay. These are, I'm gonna put together a little presentation of these cores in order, where you have them. See, this is for the preparation state. Okay, this needs to be thinned out like this one is being done. Then it'll look like this. This is a pretty decent core. And can you see where it's scratched in? They'll have a scratched place on these where they actually scratch the point in. Okay, where's my good example here? The next stage. Okay, here's the next stage after this one. So they've broken it. You've got a pretty big round flat piece. Break these corners off and make it the triangle. You rub these down. I'm not sure if they have a pebble process, a tumbler. They've got some way to do it. Okay. Next step is to break off and start thinning it out. And I don't know if this one had a flaw and was discarded, or see, it may have broken and they discarded it because of the crack, so they put it in to become the next tool. They have piles. That's why these are in all piles, because as they're breaking them down, they go either to the good pile or the bad pile, or they might have 4 or 5 piles for different. Like this is going to become a hand anvil, so it goes here. If it's going to become a point, it goes here. If it's just got to be, you don't know, it's going to be reduced further, throw it over here. If it's perfect for another tool, you put it over here. So now you've got five piles. You're sitting here busting up your rocks. You've got one pile of rocks, all about the same, all about like this. So now you're preparing them for the next stage. Bam, 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 and you're throwing them, you're forming your next pile. And basically, okay, the whole thing is, as you're reducing these tools, you're forming cracks in them when you're breaking them together. And the cracks are intentionally designed. There's a process, a standard process, where the cracks, the way you're hitting it, causes the cracks to form in a certain way. So this is broken down rock. And you see there's pitting, they're changing this rock. They're going to make a point out of it. But at the same time, they're using it to make points out of other rocks. So this is your, okay, here's an example. You're tapping with this, like it's your rock finger. You're tapping on the rock. Eventually the cracks form, just like, I have a piece. Where is it? Where's the good piece? Oh my God. Okay, here it is. You see how that's the tip of either one of these pieces. You could use this to hit with that tip there. You could use this to hit with that tip, or the good one, this is a standard stone finger. It's been rounded around, and this, you're hitting down on the tip. And you're putting the stress fracture up like this, which creates this. Now this is going to become another tool, or your core. This is the core for the next point. So as you're reducing these pieces, you've got the whole process in mind. Where as you reduce them, you're forming the next tool, and you judge it. You look at the cracks. See, this is a tool here. This is a hand plow. I have a couple of these. I reckon you take the cracks, whatever you got, and then you accentuate it to make the next tool. You've got a base, broken piece of rock that can become several different tools. So I've got a couple of these. This is a base tool, a basic tool. It's not like a very refined one, but it's been altered somewhat to become it's a fiber splitter, basically. It's a little plow here, and you grab it and just, you pull, you can hold it like this and pull to the side, fibers, and they split right in half. But, okay, that's just one little piece of the puzzle. See, this is a hand anvil, finger anvil, a pinch anvil, or however you want to call it, but there's some you pinch between your fingers, and this one's like when you pinch like this. So there's all different styles, depending on almost every configuration of your hand can make. There's a stone to fit it. Okay, now this is going to be the core. I've seen them, they'll start tapping off here. You see this crack sideways? Now I think this one might have had a crack here too, so it might have been, that's why it was thrown into another pile. But see, this flat area here is going to be the surface. They'll start to chip up here, and then they'll break this off. This is probably one where they're trying to do it too. See, these look like random rocks, but when you start to notice, they're actually formed on almost all sides, and actually, they almost all have faces and snake heads. Okay, this is where I'm going to lose a lot of you. See the bird effigy there? The bird head. I've not checked this stone out, but I'm guessing there's a man's face and a bird and a snake head. If you look at it, and I think these may have been offerings. I'm not 100% sure. I'm putting all this together. But that's just a few more of the clues I've stumbled across. And I'm going to try to put together a piece by piece, a display of these where you have each stage in the process. And I show exactly, and I'm going to start to try to put together where the this one's had one corner broke, but not the second one or the third one. This one hasn't. They're produced in different ways, so you can get a core several different ways. Here, these two are the same. Here's a core, and they have sanded it here to make it flat. And once they get it down to like this, they're going to get this. They're not going to break this bump off, or you're going to ruin the whole piece. They're just going to sand it and scrape it. They're doing this with a mind for efficiency. So if it's faster to break it off, and you get more chance of saving the point, then you'll go ahead and break it off. But if it's close and you hit it and you're going to fracture the point, well, you want to save the point, so you're going to sand this down. Okay, I'll quit rambling now. But you see, I know these are all three the same tool, and as is this one. They're exactly the same, and they're all being prepared. These have all the exact same facets, and they all fit your hand. They're all smooth. They're all function as tools, and they all have inscribed points on them. These are not accidents of nature. They very much appear that way, even to me. These are very carefully made tools in a process of reduction that will produce these are faces. Every one of these has a face of a human, a bird, and a snakehead. And it's just amazing. It's hard to pick them out, but you can. It is some kind of legend or story, a teaching story that goes along with making these pieces. So if they break it and they see it kind of looks like a face, they'll accentuate it. They'll make these marks here. And also this, okay, they'll make the marks and this is also where the ears are put on another piece. So you hold the point here and you use your other hand in a small tool with a point to poke off where the ear holes are. And you say that's where these two holes are from right here. But it's also a face. I'm telling you, this is a face. These are the nostrils. These have been added. This is the mouth. The mouth, all these have been formed like this. Or accentuated. If they took a crack and they take a scratch and they'll make a scratch to connect the cracks. They'll draw circles around the eyes. I've got a lot of these, and there's the snake. Where's the bird? It could be okay, I see a lot of these places with 2 points here, 2 points here, and 1 point here. That's a reason they are, it's a grade scale for uniformity in the points. And as the point breaks, they change. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I have seen this pattern before. 2 dots, 2 dots, and 1 dot. I'll show that. I have to make a video about that. But anyway, this flat side has been sanded down. This flat side has been sanded down. So this is going to be the point where this is going to be the general profile. So they're hedging their bets. They're making it so that it's more likely going to fracture in the way they want. Got a lot of thinking to do about this, but look at these random rocks. I'm not just grabbing random rocks. I'm grabbing these rocks on purpose. I can find whole points if I want points, but I want to get at what all these are. We use these things to fill potholes here. We use these things to pave. We're paving parking lots with Indian artifacts. These is a beautiful preform, and you can see, if you look closely, you can see they've scratched the design of the point they're going to put on here. I'm going to have to get a microscope little thing for this, because if you look closely in the light, you can see where some of these have, I mean, come on. This is 100% formed, not naturally. It's been sanded down to make this shape. It's like a gun handle. It's for fracturing ledge with these specific angles, so that you can break your points or break. And this is a little point here for working off of a point. This is a hollow recess right here for clamping down and holding the thing in there and breaking it off the fracturing ledge. See, there's a point where stuff has been broken off and it's chipped it up. This is a flat surface for holding your point down on and sharpening it up. I guarantee you can see the outline of it. You see these lines? That's where he's been doing the edging on this. Okay, I'm gonna end it here and come back soon with more of a proper display and a good outline of what I'm going to talk about, because I'm basically just freestyling it here at this point. Those sort of train of thought, stream of consciousness type deal. But I'm dedicated to figuring this out. So stay tuned. And especially you rock nappers out there, stay tuned, because I'm going to have a lot on this napping process. And I'm actually started cracking a few stones together. I've got enough here. I don't have to worry about, I mean, if I'm the only one of the few people on earth that thinks that this is an actual Indian artifact, I guess there won't be too much of an uproar if I break it in half. But hopefully I'll figure this all out and keep gathering evidence. And be back later. Thank you.